Welcome along to another video. I am That Cycling Chimp, and in this one my route is going to be a 20-ish kilometre coffee run. It's a little bit of a different video today because it's going to be part adventure, part review, because I've just picked myself up a new bike and it's its maiden voyage. So if you want to find out a little bit more, or maybe you're new to the channel and you would just like to see Scotland by bike, you've came to the right place. So stick around, grab yourself a cuppa, kick back and relax. Let's get the show on the road. Today's adventure, I am heading towards my local haunt of the South Beach Kiosk. It's an establishment in the South Beach Promenade in Troon, and it's usually where I stop to have some coffee on my training runs. Today it's not a training run, as I said, it's a maiden voyage of a new bike, and I've picked up one of the Brompton G-Lines. Now, for some of you that may not know what Brompton is, well, you've been hiding under a rock for the last half century. They're a company that was established in London in the 1970s, and they actually specialise in folding bikes. These are usually used in city and urban landscapes, but last year they decided to bring a mini gravel bike to the mix, and I use mini very, very loosely. I'm really looking forward to this today because I've not really told anybody that I've purchased this bike yet, so it's a little bit of a surprise for everybody. And I have to say, at this point in the video, I'm not sponsored or affiliated in any way whatsoever with the Brompton brand. So all words in this video are my own views. So let's see how we go on today. Well, that's the first 5k on the bike done. So I'm going to stop because I know you guys are wanting to know a little bit more about this steed. So I'm going to give you a little insight into the spec of it. So what we have here is the Brompton G-Line. The G either stands for great, and I think it's really gravel. This is a medium steel framed bike. It comes with hydraulic disc brakes, and the first thing you'll probably notice is the wheels. They come installed with the Schwalbe G1 all-round gravel tyres, and they're on 20-inch wheels. Most of the other Bromptons, like the city bikes, are a 16-inch wheel, so it is considerably bigger than the other bikes. When I said at the beginning of the video that this is a mini bike, I use that lightly because this does feel like a full-size bike when you're on it. Speed-wise, it's not as fast as my gravel bike, but we will come to that. I'm not going to give you pros and cons at the end of the video. I'm just going to go through them as I go through the video as well. It comes in 3 different colours. It comes in trail dust white, forest green, and the most favourite, chimp orange. No, I'm only joking, it's adventure orange. But this little thing packs a punch. It also comes with the Shimano Alpine hubbed gearing system, which is an 8-gear ratio. I've never rode on a hubbed geared bike before, but from what I understand, I can change my gearing at any time. Whether that means I'm in a stationary position and I don't need to wait for the chain to move over. These things are not cheap, and I opted for the second tiered version with the mudguards and the little pannier rack as well. It claims that it folds up in 20 seconds, and yes, I can confirm that it is pretty quick at loading and unloading it. The question you're asking is, why did the Chimp buy one? Well, you're just going to need to stick around to find out. The weather this morning in Scotland, well, it's actually not too bad. It's been windy the last couple of days, and I've not managed to get out on the bike. And according to news reports this morning, we're actually going to have a partial solar eclipse later on. I don't know if we'll see that or not, but the sun does look a little bit funny. So the reason you're wondering why I've bought this bike, well, first and foremost, it's the portability of this thing. Now, I like going on the adventures, as you all know, but sometimes the gravel bike can be a bit too big to put into the car. And yeah, I know, we could probably get some roof racks and put the bike on top, but I'm not a big fan of doing that with bikes. Sometimes I go away for kind of long weekends as well, and I just really wanted the option and flexibility to fold this bike up and put it into the boot of the car, and it fits like an absolute dream. So that is one of the big pros for me, it's the portability of it. And another pro that I'm finding so far, it's zippy. It's just an absolute joy to ride. It's a great little bike. Now another thing some of you will be wondering if you're thinking about purchasing this bike is, what size do I get? Well, I can't tell you exactly what size to get. You really need to go and try these out. But for your information, I'm exactly 6 foot and I've got the medium frame. Now, I nearly pulled the trigger on one of these bikes when I was down in Brompton Junction in London the other month, but I just didn't have time to try it out. So I done a bit of sleuthing in the internet and I found that one of the local stockists that had them in stock to try was Dale's Cycles in Glasgow. Now, again, I'm not sponsored or affiliated by them, but they guys helped me the minute I walked in the door to loading the bike into the car, and I can't thank them enough. They let me try out various sizes and then we came to a comfortable agreement. The bike was in the back of the car an hour and a half later, which is really unknown of because I had to build this out the box. This thing's an absolute joy to ride, by the way. It is actually giving me so many smiles just with what it's capable of with its tiny little wheels. I've never had as much fun in 20-inch wheels for about 35 years. I think the last time I rode a bike with 20-inch wheels was my old Rally Styler. And boy, what a bike that was. I'm going to do a little bit of off-road gravel to see how we got on with this, because I know what it's capable of, but I've got a funny feeling I know what its limitations are going to be. Anyway, I need to pop you guys back in my pocket just now because I'm on a few busy roads. See you in a minute. Morning. Yeah, I'm definitely not seeing any partial eclipse this morning, so we're either out too early or we're not going to see it at all. This much fun in a bike must be illegal. It's got to be. It's just this absolute great little machine. As I said, I can't get away with how zippy it is, and I'm quite glad I'm getting a shot of the Schwalbe all-round tyres because I was thinking about upgrading my other gravel bike with them. So it's a slight demo of them as well. And I'm very, very impressed. Now here's another question you might be asking. What are some of the cons of this bike? The first con I found was, how do you change a puncture? Now the front wheel is through axle, it's pretty easy to get out. But because we've got a hubbed gear system in the back, we have to disengage that system, and we've got to always carry a 15mm spanner because it's actually 2 bolts that you've got to loosen. So the back tyre isn't quick release. I'm unsure yet whether you can actually fix your puncture when the bike's half folded up with the rack. I'm also unsure, and I need to do some more research to see if I can get this thing tubeless. I'm running tubes in it, and I'm a little bit worried if I do get a puncture in that back wheel, in case I can't get the wheel off quick enough to sort it. Another bit of a strange con is the weight of this thing. Now, I've got the rack and mudguards on it, and it's the medium frame. When I weighed it in the house, it came out at a staggering 18 kilograms, which is madness for a bike. But again, sometimes the pros outweigh the cons. And as I said, I could chuck this into the back of the car and still have a lot of space for luggage. So that's a plus for me. Another thing I'm slightly disappointed about is the lack of accessories for it so far. I know it's just out recently, but there's not that many bags or things you can upgrade it with. But I'm definitely going to need to get a system in place so that I can transport all my filming equipment with me too on adventures. I think I've got an idea for that one. I'm just about to turn off and get into a little bit of the mucky stuff, and we'll see what this thing handles like on gravel. Again, it's pretty quick and nippy on certain types of gravel, but I do feel as if I'm kind of pushing myself a little bit harder on it, and that's just down to the size of the wheels, I think. Now, it's at this point that I do know what the limitations are of this bike. It says on the Brompton website that it's really made for towpaths, asphalt, champagne gravel, and well-maintained gravel paths. I apologise if there's any wind noises. I've got a bit of a headwind. I 100% cannot see me winning any races with this thing unless it was a Brompton League, nor will I be doing any downhill or enduro on it. It does handle like a dream, but it's a different type of handling compared to my gravel bike. It's still got that kind of twitchy Brompton feel. So I know exactly what this bike is going to be good for. Then again, I might be very surprised with it. But as I said, I'm just taking my time over this gravel just to get a feel of the bike, and also I'm trying to avoid getting a puncture or a torn tyre. I don't think that's going to happen, but the other thing I have noticed as well, just because I haven't rode flat bars for a long time, I'm starting to get fatigued in my wrists and my hands, and I've only been on the bike for about an hour. It does have ergonomic grips, which is really handy, but it is just its maiden voyage, so there is a lot more kind of things I need to set up. I think one of the biggest things I'm impressed about is the Shimano Alpine hub geared system. I actually really like it. And I forgot to mention, the chainring at the front is an absolute monster with 52 teeth. But so far, I'm really, really impressed with this bike. I've done some of the chunky stuff there, and as I said, I know exactly now what this bike is capable of and what adventures we'll be able to go on. So who do I think this bike's for? Now that is the ultimate question. I think this bike has been made for Brompton enthusiasts, also city dwellers that's looking for something a little bit more rugged than the other Brompton bikes. Not saying that they're not rugged, this one can take a little bit more punishment. I think it's also made for the weekend getawayers and also people that want to travel. And that is one of the other cons that I have found so far. I know you can pick up some hard luggage cases or flight cases for them, but you can't get one for this yet. I'm hoping that's going to change soon. I would really like to see some real travelling with one of these. I also know you guys are going to want to see this thing folded up, so I'm going to show you how this works. First things first, you hit the clip at the back to fold the back out. Make sure your pedals are sat back like that, and then you disengage your first clamp, lift the bike up, and there's a little clip behind the wheel that will all clip in like so. Disengage your second clamp and then fold your handlebars like that. It's got the rack mount on it, so you can push it back and forward if you're transporting it, but also you put your seat down, head voila. Now you're ready for the next adventure. Well, that's us got to the end of yet another adventure and another little review. I hope you really enjoyed today's video, and I hope it answered some of the questions you might have been asking yourself about the Brompton G-Line. If you've got any questions whatsoever, pop them down in the comments below, and if I can find out about it and help you out, I can. I think they're an absolutely great little bike, especially for what I'm intending to do with it. And I'm not going to give too much away just now. You're just going to have to hit that subscribe button down there. Follow the Chimps adventures that are up and coming. Do I think I'm going to be able to do massive adventures on it? Well, the jury's still out in that, but I think it's a very capable bike, and you just never know where the Chimp might turn up. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up, and if you really liked the video, please consider subscribing, because it's your subscribing that keeps the Chimp rolling and riding, and you do not understand how much it means to me when you hit that subscribe button. Hope to see you all in the next one. But in the meantime, you can check out my last video up here, or you can check out previously on That Cycling Chimp, which are archived videos. I'm going to go out and take some lovely photographs of this bike now. So until the next time, bye for now, and remember to pedal smart out there.